Welcome back to Breaking the NFL with Mickey G. I am your host, as always, Mickey G, and we're about to get into this Week 5 recap. Now, starts out with a real sad way, because first of the three special games is our game of the week, and that is the Jaguars-Chiefs. Sadly, the Chiefs, they beat the Jaguars. The Jaguars' defense, and everyone played a pretty decent game, except for Blake Bortles, who had a good game just with 4 interceptions, which is hard to win when you throw 4 interceptions. So that was a major bummer and made me very sad. But Chiefs are going to lose in the playoffs anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Alright, so the next game is the upset of the week, and I was correct. Very nice. That is right. I picked the Vikings to beat the Eagles. That's right. Real good thinker up here. And then the crap fest was the Cardinals at San Francisco. Josh Rosen didn't really do much, but he did end up leading his team to a win, so good for you, Josh. And that's really it. Now, so I went 10-5. Oh yeah, that's definitely my best. Congratulations to me, which takes the total now to 41-37, and I'm 3-2 in all 3 of the special game categories. So that's also very nice. The Patriots, they blew out the Colts on Thursday night. The Bills beat the Titans. More applause right there, because we all know I got the pick wrong, but it's more important that the Titans lost than me getting the pick right. You know what I mean? So that was pretty epic. I got a Bengals game right. I picked them to win, and lo and behold, they did it. So that was epic. The Browns, also shocking surprise here. They beat the Ravens. I have a friend, Mr. Geiger, and he was not very happy about that, let me tell you. The Jets also surprised me in beating the Broncos. Case Keenum had a pretty good game, but Robbie Anderson had a great stat line of 3 for 123 and 2 touchdowns. So that's also hard to stop. The Chargers, no surprise, rolled over the Raiders. And the Steelers destroyed the Falcons. It wasn't very close at all. The Steelers finally had their defense play decently well, and the Falcons are just slowly showing us that they're not going to contend for the playoffs this year. The Texans won the Battle of Texas against the Cowboys in overtime, so that was a crazy game. Carolina Panthers beat the Giants on a last-second overtime crazy field goal. That was like 63 yards from Graham Cano. Absolute banger. So congratulations to you, being a beast. The Lions upset the Packers, partly because of the fact that Mason Crosby missed 4 field goals and an extra point. And they lost by 8. So he had 13 points, put those on the board. Packers get the win there, but sadly for them, that's not how it went. The Rams won a close one against Russell Wilson. Crazy game, no one expected to be close at all, but the Rams did squeak away with a win, so they are still undefeated along with the Chiefs. And then there was the Monday night game where the Saints just destroyed. Ingram was back, and it wasn't very close. The defense played decently well, and it was exciting stuff for them. And here's an interesting stat here: the Browns have now won a game the normal way, right? Like in regulation, they won in regulation. They have lost in regulation. They have tied. They have won in overtime, and they have lost in overtime. They have finished the game in every possible way that you can in the first 5 weeks of the season. And there's only been like 3 or 4 teams who've done it like ever for the entire season. So more exciting stuff there. Next, first of all, we got to talk about Linval Joseph. All right, my man's just a D tackle, D lineman, right? Takes like a 64-yard fumble recovery for a touchdown. Just runs all the way, and then he puts these nice shades on to go along with his oxygen mask. So pretty epic kind of guy, just gotta say there. And also, my man's Drew Brees just passed Brett and Peyton Manning for all-time passing yards. That's pretty cool. He's also got a touchdown record in his sights too, so be aware of that. And I'm I have mixed feelings about the NFL this year because with me not being with all the games being close, you're like, wow, I didn't expect this to happen, this happened, and stuff like that. It makes the NFL a lot more interesting because you're not quite sure who's actually a good team. On the other hand, though, it makes it very hard for me to make predictions, and therefore I do poorly. Except for this week, which I did pretty well, getting 10 wins, which is what I aim for every week. Well, I aim for 16-0, but for speaking realistic here, 10. I'm cool with 10 wins. So that's all for the recap, and now let's move on to the predictions. The first game that I have listed here is the Steelers at Cincinnati. Now, this is going to be a very interesting game here because the Steelers are just starting to get their roll, right? Starting to get a little excited. Going real well here. James Conner has more all-purpose yards than Le'Veon Bell did at this point last season, so that's an interesting fact. And then there's the Bengals, who are winning the AFC North right now, which no one expected and is quite crazy, and I don't quite understand what the heck is going on here. The Steelers, like I said, their offense is good. No one's denying the fact that their offense is good. And their defense proved that they can play well against a good offense, finally. So I believe that the Steelers continue what they usually do, and they might actually win this game. So yeah, Steelers win, and I'm not sure this is the best pick. The Chargers at Cleveland. Now, this is another interesting one because Cleveland, now that they finished the game every single possible way, now they figure out what they're going to do next. And I believe that, however, they might be doing well, and they might be shocking people a lot, but the Chargers' offense is too overpowered, and their defense, I feel like, can contend with a rookie quarterback. So I'm going to go with the Chargers here, and Phil Rivers leading them to a dub. Next, we have the Bills at the Texans. Now, the Bills are just coming off a win. Tennessee Titans, this is their second win of the season, which is quite shocking because I expected them to be the worst team in the league, and they're not even close to the bottom. They're actually tied right around the middle. Most teams are 2-3, 3-2. So this is quite strange, actually. Then there's the Texans, who are now 2 in a row dubs. So good for them. And I think they continue their ways because I still can't. I can't pick the Bills to win. I'm not going to do it. So the Texans are going to win here. Sean Watson now is going to get his third game in a row. Continue that confidence rising, and it's going to make the AFC South slightly more interesting. Next is the upset of the week. That is right. It's the Colts at the Jets. Now, this is a fun one because it's the Colts, and they only have Andrew Luck, and that's basically it. And now T.Y. Hilton's being a little oofy. And there's the Jets, who are an interesting team here. And they've been playing pretty well. They won this past week in a shocker over the Broncos. And so I came into this going to pick the Colts, and now it completely changed my mind, so it's an upset now. We're going with the Jets here. I'm picking the Jets to win this one. I have it written down. I have it planned out that I'm going to pick the Colts here, and I'm just not going to do it. I am going to pick the Jets. Yeah. Alrighty. That was crazy. Alright, the Ravens at the Titans. Well, we have the Ravens, who are just coming off a loss to the Browns, and they can't really like that. And then there's the Titans, who are coming off a loss to the Bills. So I'd call this the underperforming game. You see here. Now, the Browns are a lot better than we think they are, and the Bills aren't. So by this logic, the Browns are better than the Bills. Therefore, if they lost to a better opponent, then they should be better. Correct? I think. I don't know. I'm going with it. And Ravens. That's who's winning this one. Next is the game of the week. The Chiefs at the Patriots. So the Chiefs are just coming off a great win against the Jaguars that I did not like very much. And then there's the Patriots, who they play the Colts. No one really cares. Now, this is going to be an interesting game because the Patriots, they're once again proving that they can win. But when playing really good teams, they have been struggling a little bit. They lost to the Jaguars already this season, and the Chiefs beat the Jaguars. Therefore, by the transitive property, the Chiefs are going to beat the Patriots. Moving on to the AFC, NFC, we have the Bears at Miami. Now, the Bears are a very surprising team. They are at the top of their division right now, which is just mind-blowing for everyone, I think. And then there's the Dolphins, who started out at the top of the division, and now they're slowly falling down. I feel like we're not giving the Bears enough credit, especially with how good their defense is looking and how good Mitch Trubisky looked 2 weeks ago. So I feel like I have to go with the Bears here, continuing their winning ways and actually becoming a good team once again. Next, we have the Seahawks at the Raiders. Now, the Raiders, they're just a very strange team, and they helped the Browns get their 5 finishes or whatever. And so that's good for them, but they're still making dumb decisions. And then there's the Seahawks, who almost beat the Rams. And they have no offensive line, therefore Russell Wilson is going to be a beast, and he's going to go out there and beat the Raiders, and no one should be surprised by this. Also, it's Marshawn Lynch playing his old team, so he's probably going to ball. And it'll be funny if they get the ball on like the 1 or 2 yard line, and it's like 4th down or like 3rd down or whatever down, and they run it with Marshawn Lynch. Get it? Because of the Super Bowl? Yeah, anyways, so the next game is the Rams at the Broncos. And as I just said, the Rams, they had a little shaky game, but so did the Broncos since they lost, actually. The Rams are going to realize that, hey, we actually have to make sure that we have a good game plan here, and we don't let the Seahawks creep up on us. I feel like also it being a rivalry game, that might have made it a little closer. So the Rams are going to continue to do what they do. They're going to win here and move on, and good for you guys. Next, we have the Jaguars at the Cowboys. Now, the Cowboys just made literally the worst mistake in NFL history. Well, maybe not that much, but quite stupid. Jason Garrett, you are an absolute nincompoop. That was a stupid play. You have the ball, 4th and 2, right? 4th and 2. Overtime. What do you call? What do you call? When you've been 18 of 19 on 4th downs in the Dak Prescott, Ezekiel Elliott area. What do you call? Well, for Jason Garrett, you punt it in overtime, 4th and 2, on the other team's 42-yard line. Now, what any smart person would do is run it with Ezekiel Elliott, get the 1st down, and then win the game. But instead, they lost to the Texans, and so yeah, Jason Garrett's dumb. And the Jaguars are coming off a loss that they're very upset about. So Jaguars, yeah, that's a good pick there. Next, we have the Eagles at the Giants. Giants, well, they had an interesting game. They almost beat the Panthers, who have actually looked a lot better than I expected them to be this year. I'm starting to give them a little more credit now. And then there's the Eagles, who they're not looking very good this year. They've been struggling a lot. The Giants, they had a nice Odell double pass. Maybe you should move the quarterback because, you're just not good at receiver. Yeah. So, Obama jokes out of the way. The Eagles are better, and they're going to win. Next is the Crap Fest. That's right, the Crap Fest. The Buccaneers at Atlanta. That's right. The Falcons are 1-4. And the Buccaneers are 2-2. And Fitzmagic is over. Whether they start Jameis Winston or start Fitzmagic, it doesn't matter anymore. Those 3 games are up. For their 4th game, he was bad. Jameis Winston came in, and he was Jameis Winston. So Falcons, I guess. I don't know. Next, we have the Cardinals at the Vikings. Now, Josh Rosen, had a decent game. He got his first dub as a Cardinal. That's pretty cool. Granted, it was against a 49ers team who was struggling a little bit there. Then there's the Vikings, who played a fantastic game this past week, and they're going to continue those ways, I believe. Kirk Cousins, anybody stop me now, and he's going to go all the way to the end zone, 4 touchdown, Vikings win. Yeah. Then there's the Panthers at the Redskins. See, as I was saying before, I was giving a little more to the Panthers for playing well. Christian McCaffrey's been balling out, my man. Absolute beast of a man right there. And then there's the Redskins, who they did the Redskins stuff, I guess. I don't know. Redskins, they started out high, then they went down, then they went up a little bit, and then they're kind of like a roller coaster. Not a roller coaster you can rely on. It's like it's a decent roller coaster you jump on, and you're like, okay, it's fun, but I'm not going to tell everyone about it, kind of a thing. And then there's the Panthers, who have Christian McCaffrey, and he's like a really cool dude. So he's like the guy I sit with next to you on the roller coaster, and he makes you have a good time. You know what I mean? So I feel like, the guy that's with you on the roller coaster, making you have a fun time, is better than the roller coaster itself. So therefore, the Panthers are winning this one. Next we have, and finally actually, is the 49ers at Green Bay. Now, Green Bay is coming off a loss here that was quite surprising. So I think all they need to do is have Mason Crosby figure out what the heck he's doing, and they should be all right. Yeah, and 49ers, CJ Beathard, he's doing all right, but he just lost to the Cardinals, who are really, 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 really bad. So therefore, I think the Packers go out there. Rodgers does what he usually does, even though he hasn't done it the past couple weeks. And, yeah, Packers win. Good job. And great week, I guess. Let's go 11-5 or something like that. That'd be cool. So, yeah. Thanks for watching. I'm glad you're here. And you should come back. You know, I can't remember, but we might have reached 7 likes. If we did, then that's cool. If we didn't, then I want 7 likes this week. I want 7 likes. Okay, can we do that, please? And thank you. Okay, cool. Thank you for watching as always, and adios.